initially when we read the Bible about Israel, we thought it's just a place, maybe very dusty, very brown, that kind of images lah. So, but somehow like Pastor was able to share about all the stories, and you really wanted to go in and see, is it really like that? Yeah.
I think I always enjoy like archaeology. So whenever like Pastor talks about the land of Israel and where like that's where Jesus is, right? I was like, I want to go because like Jesus was born there. So like we went the first time and it was really good. So that's why we decided like we should go a second time. So we actually thought like because we went to the first time, like okay, it's the same. It's probably going to be the same if you go the first and the second round, but it's actually like very different. Yeah, so I think the first one we went was in the footsteps of Jesus, and the second one was off the beaten track. So I was asking God like to show me who he is, like to show me maybe like a miracle or something in Israel. And I remember like in the verse like always says that God will move with, is it the children of Israel? In a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Yeah, so I was like, like how is that possible? I cannot imagine like a pillar of cloud like providing shade. Because when we were there, sometimes it was really hot. When the sun was like shining, you can actually feel the heat. It's like, how do they even like walk in that kind of weather? Yeah, so I had that question that popped up during the trip, and then I just like kept it inside. Yeah, so I was like, God, how do you do it? Then like, okay, I just left it as that. Yeah, then during the trip, we were actually like driving past a lot of desert. So when we were driving past, you'll see like wide open space and it's like all desert. And then I saw like this huge cloud. And then because the cloud was so big, it actually cast like a shadow on the ground. So I was like, oh, so like, that's probably how he did it. I was like, oh, okay. So sometimes when I read the Bible, so when I read it, I find like it's very, like I can't have an image to what I read. But when I'm there and like, you ask God like this kind of questions, so like he gives you this kind of little like revelations and little like sneak peeks of like how he did it. So now like, whenever I read that, I have like an image to what I read. So, so I think the Bible really like comes to life for me in that sense that like, the places that we read in the Bible, we actually been there and we actually seen the place. Yeah, and I get like very, sometimes very overwhelmed to think that like, oh, this is where Jesus was 2,000 years ago. And this is where he, like the Sea of Galilee, this is where he like walked on the water, and this is where he calmed the storm.
I think another highlight of the tour was actually the renewal of our vows. Yeah, so we actually didn't expect that to happen. Yeah, we actually went to this St. Peter's Church. That was actually quite memorable because it was actually only 1 year after our marriage. Yeah, and it's also one of our first few trips together as a couple.
Which is our second trip.
After honeymoon. Yeah, correct. So that's why it makes it kind of unique.
It's very different to like renew your vows in the land of Israel.
So it's like the whole so all the couples down there, their vows will be renewed again. The pastor will lead us through the recitation of the vows. Yeah, so it's quite memorable. Yeah.
Omega actually planned it out very well. So from the start of the trip, even before the trip started, we have like a pre-briefing. So you kind of know what to expect when you arrive in Israel, like know what to prepare, what to plan for. And I think they also prep you like, how do you pass the customs, like what are some questions they'll ask. So we didn't feel too overwhelmed when we were at the customs or overwhelmed by the information or the place. Yeah. Our tour guide was good too. The bus driver also, they were very nice. I think the bus driver had his wife over on one of the last few days, and she kind of baked, I think their traditional cookies for us to eat. Yeah, so they were super nice. Yeah, our tour guide was very knowledgeable. So yeah, so like all the sites, he has like so much information that he's just like sharing. And I think Pastor also like he will say like, oh, the tour guide, his name is like something, is it Cohen? So that's from like the tribe of
the
Judah.
different tribes.
So we're like, ooh, like okay, that's quite cool. You get to see like the actual people there living there, with the names and everything. That was like Like I thought it was fun.
Correct.
to
Yeah.
see that.
And I think in terms of the stay, the food.
Oh, the food's good.
Yeah.
I gotta say the
food
food's
is
good.
good.
I really like the food. The vegetables are like the best. It's
Yeah,
like
very
it
fresh.
tastes it tastes like it's like plucked out of somebody's garden and then like put it on your table. Yeah. Food was good. Don't have to like get
No,
Maggie mee.
yeah,
No need to bring
no,
Maggie mee. I totally
Did
fine.
we bring?
The first time we brought because
Yeah.
we thought, we wouldn't get
Correct.
used to the food. Second time I don't think we brought because we know like we want to eat everything that's there. The bus was also very comfy also. Yeah, the bus very, very comfortable. And they had charger also.
Oh,
Should I have
USB
that?
charger.
USB charger, very nice aircon, and then they carry water, so if you need water, you can always you will never run out of water in the desert because your bus has water. The trips are never the same. I think every time you go, the encounter with God is very different. The people you meet are very different. The experiences are also very different. So why not a third, right? Because it's definitely going to be different. God is not like, I don't know. I feel like God has so many. There's so much to God. There's so much to the land of Israel. So much to the Bible, and so I'm very sure when we go the third time, we'll just we'll always leave with much more.